park. Around the time that I was 10 and he was 7, we were given the rare opportunity to go trick-or-treating. We were beside ourselves with excitement. We decided to be soldiers that year. We dressed ourselves in army surplus pants and t-shirts. We used our mom's makeup to paint our faces like Rambo. And the final perfect accessory went to Toys R Us for M16s. The actual gun was notorious for jamming under muddy conditions in Vietnam, but the plastic replica would do just fine in conquering our neighbors' doorsteps and looting their candy bowls. On the night of the main event, my father sat us down in the living room. Are you boys excited? Yes, we enthusiastically told him. Like, let's go. What are we waiting for? I just want to tell you one thing important. What could be so important? It's okay for you guys to go out and have fun and look great in your costume. And I know you're excited. You're going to get candy and see your friends. But I need to tell you about Halloween. What? I thought. Tonight, while you're out having fun, someone, somewhere, he leaned in close, is being tortured by a satanic cult. I was 10 years old. I've discovered in my older age that one of my favorite things is about Halloween is encountering these same ridiculous things that fundamentalist preachers are apparently still teaching young people. Mr. Edwards, what is it called if you don't go to church? I don't think it's called anything. Like, I believe in God and shit, but I hate going to church. Do you pray? Yes. Sounds like you're spiritual but not religious. You don't have to put a name on it. Okay, because if you go to church, you can't have fun on Halloween. Wait a second, I've been to church and I really like Halloween. That's a sin, says who? The Bible. It's a demon's birthday. I've read the Bible and it doesn't say that. Yeah, but it's Satan's birthday. No, it isn't. I'll bet you $1 million. My mom told me that God doesn't celebrate Halloween because it's the devil's birthday. Do you want to call my mom? And something tells me I do not want to call this mom. The thought of God staring wantingly at aisles and aisles of shitty plastic Halloween masks and bags of candy makes me laugh. Another year of not celebrating such a fun holiday. On Halloween, God is probably sad to be religious. Another student chimes in. I go to church, but I don't clap. I just chill. Chill is good, I think. Chill needs to be a baseline expectation in more religious communities. Another student chimes in, Mr. Edwards, do you believe in God? Sometimes. What does that mean? Well, I live as if there is a God and as if she were a being full of love for everyone. That's weird, Mr. Edwards. One more student speaks up. Mr. Edwards, there's definitely a God because when I went to court, they lost my paperwork and I was allowed to leave. Yeah. Well, that's really nice, I tell her. The problem is that doesn't happen for everyone. Some people go to court and they're locked up for crimes they didn't commit. What should they believe in? She looks at me like a fucking idiot. Mr. Edwards, it happened for me. Also, she turns to the class. There are so many sexy chobos in courts. 3 or 4 female students nod in agreement. One more student. Going to church is a waste of time. Do you care to explain? My mom always makes me go to church to pray, but why should I go to church to pray? I can pray at home. You're not wrong. So church is a waste of time. But of course, some people go to church because they feel cared for there. Some churches are where people feel free to openly discuss hard questions like, why are we here? Why does suffering exist? What does it mean to live in hope? What does it mean to live alongside other people? Student sits and ponders before responding. Yeah, what a waste. That's it.
Thank you. That was fun. That was really great. You are. I love the act. Thank you again. All right. All right. I got a message that the mic wasn't on, so now it's on. Back there for the YouTube folks. Juan was watching. He's like, he called me, and I'm like, he knows I'm at a mic, so I ignored him. No, joke's on me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to edit this clip, but yeah. Anyway, but we're here. I got you guys. I got taking pictures. You're on my Instagram, right? But yeah, awesome. Everything's been fabulous. I've really been enjoying all the work that's been up to. And Caesar, is there another Caesar?
I was me, sister, but I went when I was already done.
Okay. Oh, right on. I was saying, you don't have to sign up because you're a featured. Series, this is our new baby, right? The newest baby to the Los Angeles Post Study literary events, smorgasbord. So we're really happy that this is happening. And we're also sponsored by Poets and Writers. So yes, thank you, Poets and Writers. So our featured guests get a little love back home coming in the mail. So we're really happy that got extra bonus. Okay, I know. All right. So our next guest at the mic is Tommy Domino.
Hello, good people. Hey, it's so good to be here. I have a book. My book came out a few years back, Switches, High Wood Tracks, and Extension Cords. And just read something here. It's called Grace. What does grace look like? That night I stood on the corner in East Oakland, 2 months before they shot Huey on the west side. I saw the steel unveil in slow motion. The ooze went click. Click fell to the concrete near a violin case. Someone threw a left hook that shook the hands of destiny. A few days later, the same cat that drew down on us drove into a tree, chased by the police. For some reason, God spared me to share these ghosts of the past. It's called tequila shot. Tequila shots lead to sweaty pillow naps. I wince, feel cool breezes, crickets creaking leaves, lost in the unique orchestra of the universe, which purge and birth, like words on my shelf covered in dust. I lust to reincarnate spirit poems. Each brick builds this home on foundation of dead wood. I transfer my binary codes. I can't read leaves, but I observe the tree bark. How birds pack up and move in the dark, an abandoned nest with feather remnants. A feline sharpened her claws on a tree one too many times, like fresh graffiti on school walls, a reminder that the world is getting smaller, even smaller if I hit the daily. I have a better chance of seeing Haley's Comet roll around next year. I chase this tequila with beer, pour out a little for those no longer here. Your tattooed tears cover my soul. Your beauty and pain always lacing my prose. You find this on World Stage Press. I don't have much but a crock pot and dreams, but these dreams are gargantuan. They're the nucleus to the beans, creating a huge stock reaching the 13 heavens. It's that 7 I need at the dice table when all chips are pushed to the center. The sinner's prayer answered on a dark, foggy road, trying to get that motor to turn. It's that burn etched on the morning pages. The itching rage between pen and finger, the spirit that lingers over my left shoulder, urging me to remember who I am and from where I came, and to always fan the flame of my inner child. See, I'm not here for fame, but impact, to vibrate and give back. These dreams are the cracks in the pavement that had the audacity to make way for the rose or dandelion or any life force, breaking through barriers to stand before the rising sun. I am the sum of all that's come before me. Caroline Randall Williams laid out a truth to factual. She said, this body is a Confederate monument so you can tear down your statues. This skin is a testament, a living document of the old South. Freedom songs rest in the bridges of my mouth. I puff, and I force them out. Sometimes I may doubt myself, but never the poetry. Because I witness seedlings sprout from arid gravel. See, one day they're going to lay me to rest, and my thoughts will travel beyond outer space. See, these are not just dreams, these are miracles manifested by my ancestors' faith. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Our ancestors are here, y'all. We've been talking about them, loving on them, walking the door, so we're proud of y'all. Proud of y'all. Definitely encourage everybody, write a poem, write a piece about a family member, anybody from the past. So, they live on, right? We're the artists, and our job, we're immortal, right? Our words are gonna be immortal, our art is gonna be immortal. So let's immortalize our loved ones and our ancestors. Right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, girl. I'm such a rebellious banner. It always is. I lost it.
It's clapping his hands. So it's clapping.
I love it. Hey, we got Kevin Balcarcel.
Got it. There you go. Hi everyone, I'm Kevin. So my background with writing, I used to do music when I was in my early college years. I was a vocalist, so I just mostly wrote lyrics for our band. So I didn't pick up writing again until 2020, till lockdown, because I had a lot of free time. I'm like, let me just pick this up again. And I never really stopped, so I kind of found my groove again. It's been cool. And then Gabe told me about like the poetry night that y'all been having, and thanks to my great friend and comrade, I'm here today to share my work with you. And it's been a long time since I've done it to a crowd of people, so I'm pretty excited. And kind of, tying back to what we opened up with, right? We're all revolutionaries here, right? And there's a piece I started kind of conceptualizing this week, kind of around that, but mostly the focus is kind of what's going on contemporarily. You have the Ohio stuff going on. You also have the rise in homelessness with inflation and whatnot. Coffee bean is not like $5.80 when you used to be like, way cheaper. So like, something that hit me like 2 days ago. I was like, what? A lot of things are happening, right? And it just seems like things get worse and worse, but no one's really paying attention. All this pain, all this suffering, but no one really grabs it. So that's kind of what this draft is. It's not really like a full piece. I'm not done with it, but I'll go ahead and share it with you guys. I'm probably gonna change by the time I finish the whole thing, but this is what I have so far. No one's listening to get the point across, all this pain and loss, it's weight crushing my chest, so criminal my heart is under cardiac arrest. Can't go to hell when it's on earth. You thought it was farewell, not until I claim my word. Turn the pain into power, we'll make them cower from their ivory towers. It's the oppressor's final hour, rise and overpower. And then as revolutionaries, we know that a lot of us are guided by love, right? Thanks, Che, right? For your inspiration from that. And with love comes passion, right? So this next piece is going to be a piece about love, right? Something that a lot of us, go through, yearn, strive for most of our lives. And fun fact, love is probably like the most common topic, kind of perpetuated in music. So me and my background in music, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me kind of get something now. So this piece is called Twin Flame. I found solace in the dark, learned to stand firm, broken and blind. My flame kept safe from getting burned until I felt your warmth. Little did I know where this would go. You had me contained like no other. I'm ready to join you and blaze this trail. So enchant me with your love. We're gonna be one hell of a tale. So engulf me in your flame. Our light will internally share. Anyone who gets too close will end up like Icarus. Burn until we get every rose, drown the world in gasoline.
and let's ignite it with our wildfire. I'm ready to join you and blaze this trail, so enchant me with your love. We're gonna be one hell of a tale. So engulf me in your flame, our light will eternally shine bright. Alone in the inferno we created, and the embers start to fade. You've gone cold, a horrifying chill to the bone. This is the price I pay for the flame of fire. I'm ready to join you and blaze this trail, so enchant me with your love. We're gonna be one hell of a tale. Engulf me in your flame, our light will eternally shine. I'm wrong, oh so wrong. Scorched by your burn, I spread wings like a phoenix, ready to fly. You lay smothered in ash, ready to die. Goodbye. So there's that, right? And then, thank you. There's the saying out there that, there's a fine line between love and hate, right? So, they might be in love, now we're gonna go to the good side, right? So this next piece is about like anger, hate, right? But mostly like out of betrayal, right? So this was written in a time where I was discovering some of the people that I thought were close to me weren't really close to me, and it was all of the side. And so I put it down to words, and this came out. 1, 2, fuck you. 3, 4, 3, 4. This is war. All my life spent fighting your kind. I'm at my breaking point. Your insidious lies steered into my mind. No stopping till I crush every joint. It's what you deserve. What you deserve. Digging into the hole. Your facade made up of wax is now beginning to crack. I'm the master of many masks, so you'll never see me coming. And when your act comes to a close, how will you continue the charade? And when I finally get to you, how will you get by when the truth is displayed? Heaven is full and hell doesn't want you. You can run, you can hide, but I'm the hunter in the night. Cover your tracks with fear, I'll snuff you out. So watch yourself, we can pretend it. And when your act comes to a close, how will you continue the charade? And when I finally get to you, how will you get by when the truth is displayed? Karma's my bitch and she does as I say, because I always come out on top at the end of the day. So watch yourself, wicked pretender. And when your act comes to a close, how will you continue the charade? And when I finally get to you, how will you get by when the truth is displayed? You're worth so much less than the skeletons in my closet. Pull yourself to survive off lies, different in the way we're built. Can't even look me in the eye. The loudest admission of guilt is the silence left behind. Thank you. Then my last piece, it's about essentially internal struggle, right? To share with you guys, be a little bit open. I deal with depression, and it's something I think diagnosed with 2 years ago, and I've been dealing with it since I was 18, so I'm 29. And throughout my journey, and I feel like a lot of people relate, is that we all want to find commonality and purpose. But in a world that we're deprived of that, right? We're shoehorned into specific roles, expectations, right? Whether they're realistic, unrealistic, related, unrelated, right? How we talked about earlier, right? Meaning a certain image that is masculine and past our ancestry, and anything of the sort. So this piece is essentially kind of trying to find that purpose in man. So that's a piece of title, Purpose and Madness. The shackles still seared into my soul. Phantom pain of the past loses its hold. I smile with freedom in my view. The last link in the chain breaks. Let my life be born anew. Never again will my mind serve you. Somewhere there is what I see. Now emboldened by the flame of ambition, I chase this bold vision. Who will follow me where my mind goes? To a place no one knows. No fucking way I'm turning back. Only forgotten memories cannot be tracked. Well, fuck, here I go again, as if I were set on rewind. Watching my steps to not slip, but my demons tighten their grip. Automatic, scripted to suffer, but now I'm wide-eyed, my resolve made tough. Never again will my mind serve you. Somewhere there is what I see. Now emboldened by the flame of ambition, I chase the bold vision. Will they follow me where my mind goes? Allies ready to fight our foes. No fucking way we will. Only death can lower these fists ready to fly. There is no more getting worse. Smoke no longer masks what I see. The common thread of this curse. Trace it back to its origins and sever me from my sins. Tonight I'm finally free from the nightmare that haunts me. Rebirth on this godforsaken earth. Drawn to a sweeting allure, lost in ostrom. What will come, I'm unsure. Will she follow me where my mind goes? She harbors a devotion that will outlive a rose. No fucking way this will crash and burn. Only hold up, that's how I fucking learn. Never again will my mind serve you. I found what I seek. Now emboldened by the flame of ambition, I chase the full vision. Not going down in this fight, withstanding blow after blow. New life gifted with weaponized light. Cloaked in the shade of a crow, reborn, adorned, and no longer torn. United as one to charge and steal. So,
Thank you.
Yes, I love that. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Also, I love the line about the crow. Like, y'all should have, I mean, you gotta pay attention to those guys in your life. You know, if you have connections with different animals or different energies, you know, wind, rain, fire, embrace it, positive way you push the fire. But for sure, like listen to that. That's your element. That's your animal, your spirit animal. Like these connections are real. And yeah, listen to that. I love the imagery. I always call my brother Cody. Brother Cody, like they are guides. They're our ancestors. I really believe that. And special. You feel that connection. Yeah. All right. I think we got a couple more folks, and then we're gonna come up. We'll recess our up, and so. Josh Wilson is at the mic. Hi. Yeah. So first, I'm really honored, really happy. It's great. We haven't had a in-person mic for quite some time, like especially a series, and and I love it because this is some new groups that we're planning and growing here, and great place here with Gabriel and Midnight Books, and you had me at midnight, then you had me at social justice and social, everything. So yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. There's seeds. You guys can take seeds, read seeds over there to plant your, have a sustainable food supply, right? I mean, it's amazing. Everything. Yeah. Okay. Well, I know I can go on in my little chat. Oh yeah, it's because it's cold. He's like, I don't know what to do. I should just wear it as a cape, honestly. That's probably better. Yeah, it's just like it's cold. But whatever. Hey, there's we'll see how determined this banner is to. Where's that little sticky? No, everything is getting cold. It's more that it's not being rebellious, but it's saying like, hey, I'm wet. I can hold on to you. What? I thought it was I was thinking more of a erotic thing. I don't like it. Yes, okay. Hi, YouTube. What's up? We're having a good time here. All right. So first off, I just want to share from the prompt. A lot of love to Alex Petunia. Thank you for your prompt, sister. And this one was, where's your favorite place to write? And here we go. My favorite place to write is beside you, where I can get lost in the flow of my imagination. Another world unfolding beside you, like scenes from Inception, where life collapses upon itself, only to be buried again. Or in the way Dr. Strange runs up the tower to jump onto a workman's being, trapped inside a dimension of mirrors, where he is the stillness of the kaleidoscope. My mind lends itself to rhythms, like the bruised hands of a conguero who sees the end of a song in all its nuances, that keeps us captivated and climaxing in procession. This way, like the ripened plum drifting away from the stem, that fat, heavy belly that sways under the sunlight, ready to drop like a cue ball echoing inside the dark tub. Bruise of gold and amber, the wheat that turns us, like the wheat that turns us to madness, like the bodies of these words that serenade us with visual stimulation, mouth separating to convince you that it's the perfect sin. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I was like, when you're writing, you're like, what did I write? You're in that flurry of that madness, that good madness. That writing is. All right, I got two. I have been writing some ancestral poems, and I one of the things is always like it's because of colonization. All this shit is from colonization. Wondering where you fit in, not being embraced by one group, not being embraced by the other group, feeling in some limbo. It's a painful place to be in, especially when you're not really connecting with what you've been told. We're smart enough when we're young. That instinct is our God. God is power, saying like, hey, this ain't right. So our instincts are always right even when we're small. Like that just didn't feel right. Like so my story never felt accepted by the white clan, never felt accepted by the Mexican clan. And then they see my name's Jessica Marie Wilson, and they're like, I'm confused by you. You look Latina, but your name's Wilson. What are you? Where are you from? Who are you? All that, right? And so yeah, and I was like, I just wish my dad was a black man, because then it would make more sense to be Wilson. Me. So I've always had that, like, this would be a lot easier, because I was told, oh, Wilson is grandpa, the Irishman who married the Sanchez, my grandmother, right? Anyway, so but trying to convince, like, no, I'm an Irish girl, right? Which I have something there somewhere in here too, I'm sure. But it was tough. It was a tough road, and I did that whole DNA thing, and so I found some good medicine and some good answers. And here we go. I'll just get into this. Oh, that's my segue. Okay. Buffalo soldier, red like Rasta. He was a buffalo soldier in the heart of America. I won't pretend to know the Black experience. I never got to live the Black experience, but I do know the brown experience. Treading between the white and gray, not knowing where to fit in or in between, which lines to box myself in. Why does it have to be a box? Why not be a flow, like a drop of water moving from one place into another, nurturing, saturating everything it touches, blending in with the obscene and with the real, with the miracle or the unique or creative that is always in these hands. Ancestors, what do you see in me? Do you see eyes that roam in blackness? Do you see eyes that roam in whiteness? These eyes that stare to heaven. Do you see eyes that stare into stars, into light? That electricity that makes me one with you, dear ancestors. I know your name. I've known your name my whole life, not knowing it. Joseph Wilson. You've been in the name of my father and in the name of your son, and at last you on paper are real to me, real in my veins. The question of who are you? Where are you from? What are you? Scorched by fire in my mind. Is being a girl not enough? Is being alive not enough? Walking human next to you in the streets, in the classroom, behind doors, not enough? I had this fantasy that my surname stemmed from blackness to cool down the uncertainty. This face is not a white face, but a shade of black. And in between African, in between Indian, in between Latinx, I am here. I stand. I'm part of the chain of command. Just a buffalo soldier, the buffalo soldier, just a buffalo soldier in the heart of America. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo, yo. Oh, yo, 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 yo. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo. That's for my great grandpa. Father, and they're all named Joseph Wilson. But I was a Will Smith from a black man. So I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm so happy. Okay. All right, so that was the men's side. Now I want to share the women's side, and then I'll bring up the next person. Yeah, I get shaky too. Look at me. I need to do this more often. I need to share my own work. Ah. Okay, this space. This space evolves into you, from me, to you, and before. It shows the path of each choice that led to love, to blunder, to sex, to reform, to reframe, to reconsider. It's the face of an era run over by men and the many bad apples they carry and turn over in their sacks. It's the face of an army that persuaded and then attacked. It's the face of a man blistered, bathed in swords. It's the face of a womb with shotgun arms held feet beyond her shadow. It's the emblem of the conquest and the conquered. It's the map of luxury that costs many lives. Cattle pleading, goats bleeding, a carnage of chickens fleecing coops. It's the face of sun-thickened desert scenes, the face of chiseled bronze, nourished alms, the snake's thorny cactus that bled too much, the taste of sweet nipples dripping like blades, delicate hand to keep you pumping hard for another life, another chance, another seed to tend and grow and bend for another lifetime, assured to grow for them and I. That's dedicated to all of my mujeres, the McNaturalina line. And yeah, I learned all their last names. So Bonilla, Espinosa, Rentaguera, Pistola. I wrote del Pistola y del Hacienda de los Pájaros on Turtle Island, which is here. So yeah, it's definitely empowering to learn your history, know your roots, and embrace them, but also speak of them, retell those stories. Maybe you're telling them, speaking their names for the first time, out loud. So keep working your magic. All right, speaking of magic, I got a magical friend coming up right now. Next on the mic, Andrea Lee.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea. I go by Miss Drea the Poet. I have a book coming out this June 28th, which is my birthday. It's titled Connections Between Us. The first poem I'm going to do is a short poem, and it's titled Gift. The innate capabilities to originate the rhythm of trumpets playing the beat drums. Sorry, let me start over. Gift. The innate capability to originate the rhythm of the trumpets playing the beat drops from the drummer, rhyme against the flow, piano keys flaring, a magical sound blaring, beautiful musical tunes, the spotlight shines. It's your time, so divine. You write the verses that bring the vibes, you feel the rhythm which bursts the rhyme, grew into the sound, we all shine, so divine. And this piece is dedicated to all poets. Yeah. Dope poet. There is power in the tips of your fingertips. Your manuscript could heal the soul. With a familiar tone, your voice speaks relatable truths that burst from within you. We need more of the lessons you learn to stop a tragedy from manifesting your words. could be the key to adjust, releasing our truth. The day has arrived, it's time. The book release, the birth of your words for all to witness this event. Hand clapping, finger snapping, loud, yes, girl, you did that. Big dance, jazz music playing, set the mood, mellow vibes, good tunes. Food for the soul, smiles on faces of everyone in the crowd, overwhelming feeling of gratefulness, gratitude, love, and support. Everyone that was invited showed up, so dope. I'll never forget this moment. My words are encrypted in the pages of the book that I created. Locked on computer screens, one-click purchase, read by the minds of the ones that needed this. I'm living in my dream. My community is lit. Thank you, Hiram Sims, still alive. We did this. I needed this. Started in season 7, TA in 7-8, alumni season 10, finished, we all win. Thank you to the ones that believed and helped me succeed. Only between 2 different poems. So some of my poems, I do like a little erotica, it's not bad.
We all did that, 'cause
So this one, it's called Slow and Steady.
go.
I can still feel your hands touching all the places I have skin. The gentleness of your touch, the strength of your grip around my waist, your fingertips caresses my spine. Flashbacks of how your hands explored each and every part of my body. Your fingertips tracing the outline of my breast, your body pressing against mine, your fingers inside of me, I'm dripping wet. The palms of your hands is filled with my juices, my entire body squirms, legs shaking uncontrollably. Your kisses planted gently on mine. I insert my tongue in your mouth, tongue sucking circular motion. I close my eyes, now you're inside, taking full control. My body is pleasure, satisfied, giving all of me, deep, slow, and steady thrust. Big slow. And this one is called True Confessions. I was never in love with you. I was in love with the idea of you. You were never true. A figment of my imagination, an unrealistic desire that I created in my mind of what I wanted you to be. And then I awakened to tragedy, a tragedy of you, who you really are. A narcissistic serial liar, one that plays on women's hearts. A fool with no soul, a half man that would never be whole, where anywhere is his home. A creature of habit, who lives lies for the entire world to see, poking a life that's full of fakes. He's green with envy, full of rage, he can't deceive me. My eyes are open. I see the truth. The feeling that I had would never be again. It's sad because I was one loyal friend. It's the end. No more. I'm not a woman's scorn.
Yeah.
My last piece is in my book, and it's called, you guys want to hear Connections or Tactile?
Yes.
Which one? Okay. Connections. Our lips collided, and with every breath, it ignites my soul. Travels through my bones, I'm addicted to the sound of your voice that breathes oxygen into my lungs. Fixated on the touch of your fingertips that pierce my soul, caresses the interior of my heart. Your words gives me life like blood that flows through my veins. My body flutters each and every time I reminisce of the first time in between time, which brings us to now. Speak life into me. Value my role. Grateful tears, spiritual connections, we are one. I close my eyes. I can touch the moon and see the sun behind. Wait. Okay, right there. I feel you deep inside me, the piercing of my body with respect. In return, I reciprocate trust, love, and loyalty. Enter me deeper. Don't let go. Allow me to hold your heart. This is a great feeling. Hands intertwine your body and mind. Keep your mind open to the dreams close to perfect mate. Fill me up with the warmth of your touch. Hold me tight. Don't ever let go. Penetrate my mouth with truth. Taste the nectar of my thoughts. Heart filled with joy, enjoying you. That one here, tactile.
Yeah.
Tactile. Deep eye gazing. Fingertips touching lips. Mouth widening. Tongue sliding deep inside throat. Caressing the lining of faces, pulling one another close, rotating hips. Seductive moves, wet luscious lips. Open, wanting, waiting on what's next. Connect as one. Intertwined beliefs. Values, spiritual feelings, the romance dancing to the alluring melodies, enticing aroma of love. In the air, oh, what memories we share. Tender kisses outline of the human canvas, whispers of love, keep on loving me. In the mood, feel like romancing, a steady groove. We are in tune. We are one. Rewind, play it black, slow grooving, loving you in every way, a special way. You know you had me. I like it. Giving all this love. Tracing the outlines of thoughts, I call your name. Always pleasure after the pain. Place no one above, I choose you. And some of those are song titles, and I know you probably know some. But thank you guys so much.
You're getting pretty. You got you. We didn't like that. All right, how you guys doing? That was fabulous. We're getting ready to close it up. But I realized I brought some book babies here. I have to talk about my baby here. Who knows what this is? Yeah, this is Amanda Gorman. Does everybody know some fun facts about her history as a young poet?
Intense LAPS.
Well, yeah. So Amanda, in 2012 and 2013, I was one of her poetry teachers. And I was in, I taught her with California Poets in the Schools, which is a almost 60-year-old nonprofit of poetry teachers all up and down the state that work with K-12. And she was in Beyond the Bell, and we meet at Beyond Baroque in Venice every Saturday, her and a lot of other kiddos. But yes, I know Amanda. So she was about 13, 14, and she was with me. And then at 15, she became the first new poet laureate of LA. And then she graduated and went to Harvard, and at Harvard, she became the first youth poet laureate of the United States. And in 2021, y'all know, made history, Biden's inaugural poet. So she's one of my, and I saw this in the store, and I like, everything Amanda I gotta get. But it's just so surprising, just to see someone grow to such heights, and someone who touched your life, who's like you also touched, and I cried, and I'm like, I gotta hold this book. And it's a children's book. It's a children's story. It's Little People, Big Dreams. It's the Amanda Gorman story here. So I read that to my kids yesterday, and then here's her, real Amanda, beautiful Amanda. And I love it here on page. I'm in her book. I say, hey, I was her poetry teacher, so I think this is me. And on the second page, it says, Amanda read everything from books to cereal boxes. She kept her diary and tried writing her own dictionary. One day, while listening to her teacher read poetry, Amanda decided to become a poet. So I was like, I told my cousin, I mean, honestly, that's me. I have pictures prove it. So yeah, I'm so proud of her. When I knew her, I just want to say about her, she always was on, she had her eyes on greatness when she was young. Didn't she want to be the president? She was a fashionista even at 13 with matching boots and coats and looking all fly. And she had, hearing her speak at the inauguration, like, I can testify to her, she did have a very strong speech impediment. And it's nothing, you hear nothing like that at all when she speaks. And she's only son. But that never stopped her from reciting poetry. She never felt embarrassed, you know, but I was like, dang, she really has done so much. I mean, speaking at the United Nations and being, you know, just a world activist. I'm so proud of her. But I wanted to share that. Yeah. And, got Maya here, mother and daughter, we talk about after. But our next guest, and I see William in the house. Oh my God, it's been a long time. I miss you. So I'm glad you're here. Can you call your brother Cesar? Just in time. Just in time. And so we're gonna close up with our second feature, and that is Cesar Aguilar. Yeah. He's a working class, savvy, and patracho father, partner, and poet. He is the proud writer in residence at Café con Libros Press, and also the host and founder of Obsidian Tongues Open Mic in Pomona, California. And he is the new poet laureate of Pomona. So, Mike, can I have
First of all, this is an amazing crowd. And like, you know, I know that's cliche to say, but y'all are comrades. Y'all are sweet. I could feel that shit. You know what I mean? From the teacher to the blue collar worker to everybody in some kind of way, we all connected, which is a beautiful thing. And a lot of folks talk about space, right? But for me, space is defined is where the workers are at, where the working class are at, you know, from the janitor to the motherfucking president, it don't matter. That's the way I feel. And that is the lens that I talk about. I write about a lot of things. When I go somewhere and when I call myself a poet, it's that, it's a blue collar poet. So that's just to get a little bit more familiar. So here we go, we'll start off. This is a place, I love this place, it's by my path. It's called Day Days. Day Days Barbecue and Waffle House is a haven for working class people. A people whose ruggedness sings with gutters, who fit pipe, frame buildings, build a country, build a dream, eating food with dust of drywall lumping around their neck. Day Days Barbecue and Waffle House, a place where meals have names like Slim the Mobster, Tisha's Combo, Jose's Special, feels like family, feels like home. Day Days Barbecue and Waffle House. I once ate there after my brother passed away. Felt my lady's smile on the wall, heard my son's laughter behind the beating pans in the kitchen, smelled the 3 flowers in my brother's hair floating across the table, faded away through an open door. Day Days Barbecue and Waffle House, a haven for working class people, a people with cracked stucco under the eyes.
Excellent.
Just really quick, want to shout out Jasmine Banks. You know, not really quick, I'll take my time. Your poetry is mad beautiful, and what you do is also mad beautiful. There's a line in there that got me hard, and it's we had something across the line where we had to part the seas in order for my bloodline to survive. That is very strong, because you know, right away I think of Moses. And when I think of texts that are now used to oppress, but originally were used to be free, this is where I reconnect with that kinship. This is where I reconnect with that fire, you know? So thank you for putting that into your pieces. And this is called She Sells Sacred Roses. Her skin is dust of breathing mountain. Each wrinkle a root that makes the city stop, a face that pinches the eye, a voice that makes the heart callous, beaten, wandering proletariat in the dreams of stolen power. She is the flower in elders' tired eyes, her silent gaze, shackled words, hiding like history at point blank range. The petal of her roses are dark red lips. They converse with canyons. Her small feet are the walking brush of spirits, painting the sidewalk with our buried history. We are all from this woman's skin, born from her rivers of sweat, running through her caves of echoing pores. In her eyes, we are all stars, all the same, all born from the roses she is desperately trying to sell. And that is also thrown on theme. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it is here and it is alive. And I feel like that we do have a kinship. Tommy Domino has a phenomenal piece that super brought me to tears. It was bad. I can remember it as I saw it on Instagram. It said, I want oxtails with my tacos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that is so beautiful, man. You know, I had never heard that before. And I was really
I
inspired.
just
by
made oxtail pop up the other day.
Oh. From our kitchen, we got to have back.
So this next poem is called Green Flint Top. On the lunchroom wall hangs a poster that grows a pair of lips and spits in my face. Its words become green phlegm dripping down my eyebrows and cheeks, landing on my food as I eat. Their words say, we would like to thank our production staff for the taco lunch for working determinedly for so many consecutive days. So join us and keep us, and congratulations on the good work. These words create a hatred so deep that my existence becomes a rope hanging on the trembles of my jaw. I guess with these tacos, my family will get back the hours daddy will inform. I guess my son's feelings of neglect will disappear with just a splash of red salsa and onions. Maybe his homework will get undone and time will retract. And I will come home on time to be a good father. Or maybe for these tacos, I am to be grateful to a company that makes millions a week and gives us a lunch instead of a raise. Maybe I'm just supposed to accept this lunch with all its strings attached to my arms, to my legs. Maybe I'm just supposed to stay quiet, benevolent, and not think of capital while living in a world that requires it to live. The taco truck arrived. No one feels the punch in the stomach. No one feels the spit on their foreheads. No one feels the gravel under our feet turn into repeated cycles of life. Every mouth begins to talk freely. Every meal begins to laugh. Everything remains the same. Should I forget that I am a man? Should I join this choir of asses? Should I live the day a donkey? Should I give in to these diversions of double tortillas to fill me up so I can hurry, hee-hawing back to work? Somehow, these tacos seem like a joke. But the only one who isn't laughing is me.
Yeah.
Thank God. I get into this zone, you know what I mean? And no, I'm reading from my manuscript. I never plug myself ever, just like this brother right here. But I'm super getting into the rhythm of doing that because I feel that our stories, and I really feel this in my gut, they should be the mainstream voices. I should be able to go like to a streaming service and I got Jasmine and Bam and that shit should be bumping on the radio or Tommy or Jessica. Like I really see that in my vision of what I want my kids to live in, you know? So yeah, so thank y'all. And so let's plug ourselves the most that we can because ain't nobody gonna do it. You know? And this is called the backbreaker. The clock is ticking. The workload is piling up. And the elderly man who covers me on my break looks at my area like it's a hammer waiting to crack his own back. He nods his head with an accepting smile and says, Yas lonche, mi Cesarín, it's lunchtime, Big C, but how can I leave this man? So much work. How can I work up an appetite knowing this situation is wrong? So I say, déjeme limpiarla aquí de volada para que no se le haga tanto. Let me clean this up real quick so it won't be so much. He looks at me, grabs his back, and says, Hijo, eres buena persona. Son, you are a good person. 5 minutes later, I go on break. My supervisor is watching, his slave tongue salivating, and my first warning is waiting to be given to me in a colonial language I will always refuse to speak or even understand. And here I am, getting in trouble for being a man, a human being, a heartbeat pounding in a corporate place where sentimientos are erased, where humanity is ripped from your spirit with just one swipe of a time card and one wink of a laughing clock's wicked eye. These moments, souls of our folks die. Why? Because our work is slavery's modern face. We are the hammer that breaks our own people's stained and stigmatized backs. We have become the vibration of railroad tracks, the quotas that must be met, the food of a money system that is spit, chewed, and thrown away. And today, we became the forbidden tears that started in the break room and ended in the history of whatever. I'm gonna read them. These poems are a little old, and I did that on purpose because I always do that. Like I don't care, I want to connect with folks the most that I can. That's my mission. That's what I do. And Jasmine spoke about father, which is a beautiful thing, So this inspired me to talk about my dad. I feel like I'm gonna just say, I feel like fathers, they're not always present. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that are, you gotta give respect to them because now they're more. So this is called the Grito de Piñata. In downtown, there is a place where movement gives birth to a new pair of eyes. A place where our feet are the scratching sounds of talking wounds. Here, voices are born with every sizzle and crack of huaraches being cooked on a plancha, fusing together with the smell of a pusa being slapped and tossed into the sunlight. In this place, borders break down to language in flames, smiles begin to sing, birds being sold on the corner begin chirping, and everything that moves turns into aching feet of a history's trembling vein. Hanging from the ceiling outside of one of the stores is a piñata of a child. His eyes guiding mine, his spirit gently saying, al otro lado de la calle estamos aquí. Y pues nosotros no tenemos nada para ustedes. On the other side of the street are my friends, and we don't have anything to do. As I took a look across the street, I see a black brother throwing punches into the air, fighting the shadow, trying to control the itch that comes with knowing that there is something inside these scarred brown and yellow urinated walls, that there is something beneath the cracked, busted jaw of broken dreams, breathing inside the pavement, hunting him down, hunting us down, shutting our intuition, our voices, and penetrating the skin of our gente that just can't stop the itch. On the floor, leaning against a dirty gray wall, I see my pops when he first got to this country, homeless, full of anger, too proud to ask anyone for help. In the midst of all the people, I feel the power of our grandmother's recipes, crackling and ripping open the imagination of a child that follows me into my family, that follows me into the pathway of compassion, pushing, and pushing until I too can feel that there is something in the shadows that is hunting us all. Until I too can feel the disparity in my pop's broken spirit, broken English, swollen eyes, while leaning over and giving us change. In the madness of all of movement, there is victory. Speaking through a child, speaking in the call of withdrawal that makes us family, makes us human, whispering in the city that turns disparity to clarity, right here in el grito del distrito de Villalba.
Yeah.
How are we on time, Jeff?
Let's do.
Okay, cool. This is called the steam tunnel. Our last names are written in the smoke. It breathes us in and spits us out. It disfigures us, sucks us dry, fattens us up. There is an energy of hands made from burning machine breath, pulling us in. It whispers, it floats around our faces like a serpent feeling its way into our dreams. Its pitch black mouth holds me in the womb of creativity, where visions move forward, feeling my way as I go, touching the uncomfortable roads of honesty that comes when love speaks in the language of overworked pounding hearts. I feel my loved ones from the other side, talking to the smoke. It's me, my brother says. I live in this place, in the smoke that calls you, in the breath of creation, where words are a stone being thrown to a river that gives us life. We begin to sink. Mama Esperanza, abuela, it's you, running in the light of my madness, in the scars of life, where only love swims in veins and is present. I feel you. I love you. Don't leave. Please stay. Don't be trapped, she says. The footsteps of pain are no longer ours. They are sold unto you, made with the thread of your fear. So I stare into the smoke till I see myself, my coworkers, our breath weaving into the eyes, the smoke in us all. It is in our voice, in our hands, in our ears, telling us to move, to keep searching for anything, anyone that can lead us away, to find our true selves, where we can finally listen to the language that comes when we are no longer just living for ourselves, trapped in label's lie, listening to the steam tunnel that tells us the truth and lovingly tears us apart so our thoughts can drift into the heart of a loving sky.
Mhm.
And just to plug this up, right? I'm thinking it's Brother Mika connection, right? Just to plug this up, my new book should be coming out soon. It's gonna be called God of the Air Holes and Other Blue Collar Poems. Yeah, and I'm super proud. It's gonna be on a new press. It's El Martillo Press, run by my homie David Romero and Matt Steele, which are amazing. So I'm super excited about that. So please be on the lookout. And it's El Martillo Press. Like when I got the news, hey, homie, you want to be, with us? I was like, yeah, especially with a name like that. That's pretty hard. This is called Salvadorian Basket. He weaves bamboo like the Great Spirit weaves planets of time. His hands are the wind blowing volcanic ash in the softness of his hand. He is making the kind of baskets that are meant to last longer than industrial time will allow. The kind that speaks to the eye and whispers, I was made from the same voice that created you. This art of our ancestors, these dying customs, are all fading away. Modernization is sending its labels, purses, bags, plastic containers, replacing nothing. There are conversations with the stars and that caresses of sacred grandfathers and grandmothers, paving new ideas and ways to keep our spirit intact. This old man making baskets, soon this ancient way will be gone, as will you, and as will I, and as will the sacred art that tells the story. That's my set, and for those that I don't know, I'm super glad to meet y'all. I really am. And thank you, Jasmine, for setting that strong love tone. You know what I'm saying? You know you need a good sister when you change up your set. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Jessica. Also thank you. Super appreciate y'all. And I have an open mic in Pomona, and I invite all of you. And it's a space. I wouldn't say like this, because this is another level kind of dope ass space. Just to shout that out. You know what I mean? It takes a certain level of courage to have a space with like turning the tide newspaper. You know, you got chair right here. Like, you know, super beautiful energy. And not a lot of spaces have that. So thank you, man. Thank you so much. So I want to invite y'all. It's every second Saturday. There's an art walk that happens in Pomona. It's on the same day. And I am the poet laureate of Pomona. And at first I was kind of, no, it's our kind of, you know what I mean? It's weird. You know what I mean? Like titles and shit like that. It's weird. But as I accepted it, I learned what that is supposed to be. And that is supposed to be, I gotta promote poetry and I gotta promote the city. And I feel that shit aligned with me because I did. And because my city is a working class city, you know. I wasn't born there, but I grew up in a gang of people. You know what I mean? I grew up with all kind of people, you know what I mean? Diversity, you know, oxtails and cocktails, you know what I mean? But sometimes that diversity is fought against by a strong sense of nationalism, stupid senses of pride, you know? And so as poet laureate, my thing is to super amplify our voices, you know what I mean? Together. So I'm starting youth programs that align with the library, that puts kids in a space where their art can be displayed in places like universities, institutions, where they're not wanted. You know what I mean? I believe that. I know they're not wanted. I know there's a certain demographic that is made to succeed. And our kids ain't that. You know what I mean? And it's cool to be that, because if you don't confront something, then you'll always not know it. So that's what I'm trying to do. And if y'all have any vision, if y'all have any input, opinions, and a guideline, I do believe it's a communal thing. So hit me up. You know what I mean? There ain't no poet laureate without no community. That's it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And got my, yeah.
Oh.
Wow, let's just one more round of applause. Dive, like, dude, I love it. And I love that fire. And you know, I've always admired your poetry, and I'm so happy that you got that title too, because it's power, man. It needs to be in our hands.
Right.
Because you know we're not gonna waste it, and it's not gonna be in vain. I think that's important. More of us are all, you know, about that. You know, what they say, like the success of one is the success of many, right? And we all help each other. You know, it's not a competition. It's about sharing the resources, helping amplify each other, and being there for each other.
Oh, and Jessica, my bad sister, but thank you for helping me, because your sister's helping me in the back, in the sidelines, funding and shit like that people want to gatekeep. And this is just like, I'll help you, brother. I'm like, thank you. You know?
Got you. You know, one of the things I learned, and I didn't know what it was, but that last name of mine does help break down some doors. And then they're like, oh, this is what they see me. I'm like, oh, wait, you're Jessica. Oh my God. Yeah, thank you. You got the key now. So hey, you know, it's all good. I got this. I own it. I own my name. My name don't own me. So William, brother, black bubblegum, blue bubblegum, you want to say something? Like here,
I'm just
amazing.
gonna say that I'm proud of my brother Cesar Kea Velada. I've been watching him and been supporting him for many years. What I will say is publish your shit, work hard, publish your shit, and keep publishing, And register your work with the Library of Congress, do it the right way. That shit's embedded in the history of the United States of America. Motherfuckers told me I couldn't do shit 10 years ago. I printed out black bubble gum. We're gonna have a party in August at Café con Libros in Pomona. Black bubble gum. And nobody believed in me. I did that shit 10 years ago on my fucking home. And that shit been sending like wildfire. And it's all about because of poetry, spoken word, spaces like this, that people like me can do shit like this, you know? So it's very grateful, very humble, saying in a very humble way, but it kind of in a mad way, because it was kind of like the rough, I went through the hard shit to get it done. But I love to see people like Cesar and the beautiful sisters here and everybody just doing their thing, you know, and like the story about the young lady that helped their screening poetry for the press and all that, and it just, poetry has so much fucking power. It's unbelievable. It unites all of us. It's like the great poet Salvadoreño said, right? Poetry like bread is for everyone. Poetry like bread is for everyone. The great Roque Dalton, Salvadorian poet. But I'll leave it at that. And especially the TV show or whatever.
Yeah, I love you guys. Honestly, thank you. A big applause for everybody. Wonderful. I love it. And honestly, this was a great launch party, great launch of Mike Night at midnight. Poets get paid to be poets. So hey, I can say that. Poets get paid. We get 2 features every month. Next month we're gonna have Best Kept. Get Corey's gonna be here. Corey Copper, and we're gonna have Miss Lupe Montiel. She's like a screenwriter, music maker. She's been doing a lot, mover shaker. So we're gonna have Lupe and Corey here next month, and keep on booking. But it's every last Saturday, 6 to 8:30. 8:30. Poet time. I know it's like ramble a little, but you guys seem to enjoy it. I get my moment as my host. But I love y'all. Thank you for the fabulous night, and I want to take a picture of everybody here. You guys look cool, like this. The crowd. I hope I get everybody. Bye. Well, if anything, you can always come up here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Wait, I should put it. Or I can put out the chair next time. It's just, since it was clapping for us, it's got a personality.
Is she going to?
Wait, no.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Crystal, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's gonna be our thing. Good stuff. All right, that concludes the ceremony. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Oh,
So much. I'm like, when am I gonna hear it? Yeah, Tommy.